will be able to get the shot. We have all the details on when and who's eligible starting Friday.
I got great grandbabies, you feel me? I want to be able to kiss and hug my family and be with my family.
Practice run. Many Clevelanders got their vaccine at the Wolstein Center today. They weigh in on the process. Plus, we're breaking down everything you need to know before the official opening tomorrow.
Backing out, Ford is moving a new project out of Northeast Ohio to Mexico. How much the Avon Lake plant will lose and what the expected impact will be on our area.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for choosing What's New. A very good Tuesday afternoon to everyone at home and to Betsy, you as well. With Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Wow. Gorgeous weather today. Bets, I'm hoping that we get a stretch of this because tomorrow, as we know, is such a big day for us here in Cleveland.
It is. And, you know, it's funny. Matt Wintz and I were talking about this earlier. We'll talk about it some more in the full forecast. But the storm system that came through Denver, this thing is just throwing curveballs at meteorologists from coast to coast. We were on the nice side of the curveballs. We thought today was going to be a little cloudier, but certainly some bonus weather for us today. But you know what? That is kind of secondary to all of the news that is happening today. There is a lot to get to, and it's because all eyes are on Cleveland. The soft launch for the mass vaccination clinic is happening at the Wolstein Center today. This is a live look over there now, and they're practicing for the real deal, the full-on opening tomorrow.
Yeah, you may have noticed that QR code that is currently at the bottom of your screen, bottom screen left. We're going to explain what that means in just a minute. It's actually a way to help you get valuable information when it comes to the vaccine. But first, we begin tonight with team coverage. Our Omni Smith will tell us what to expect when we arrive at the Wolstein Center. And January Keaton talks with Ohioans about the process.
But senior health correspondent Monica Robbins is starting things off with some good news on the vaccine front. Monica, tell us the good news. We love to hear that. And from what we're hearing, that by the end of the month, everybody 16 and up could be eligible?
Yeah, Bets, this is unbelievable. It is huge news and weeks earlier than what the president wanted to see because he picked May 1st as a date to have everything open. So if you are 16 and older and you've been waiting for your chance to get your vaccine, well, it will arrive on March 29th. The governor is banking on a huge dose of vaccine supply that is supposedly coming in that week. However, we don't know exactly how much that will actually be. He also announced new groups will be eligible this Friday. So those include those over age 40, those with cancer, chronic kidney disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, heart disease, and obesity. And while the mass vaccination effort will end in 8 weeks, don't be surprised if something comes into your neighborhood.
That may include, going out and having mobile units. We've already announced 4 we're going to do, but we do more. Whatever it takes. It may be going into communities and having no appointments. Not to replace what we're doing, but rather to add on to what we're doing. And when you have more vaccine, you then have the ability to do that. And
so in addition to the mass vaccination site at the Wolstein Center, there are 1,300 vaccine providers across the state of Ohio. You can use the state portal to try and schedule or register for your shot at gettheshot.coronavirus.ohio.gov. And while all of this, Bets, is great news, I want to remind everybody, please keep perspective. Just because the door will open for everybody on March 29th, a lot is going to depend on how much vaccine we get. And of course, how many people are even available to give the shot? So you're still going to need patience, and it may be still some time for a lot of us before we can score that appointment. So just hang in there. But I do have some good news coming up at 6 I'll tell you about.
Well, I'll tell you, you said 40 plus. I got very excited, even though earlier this month we already established I'm still 29. But, I think the big question going forward is as more and more people are getting the vaccine, or in the very least becoming eligible, does this get us one step closer to that herd immunity?
Absolutely, yeah. I talked to a Cleveland Clinic doctor about that. She thinks it will take us at least 5 months. But keep in mind, if that AstraZeneca vaccine is approved, best case scenario, we could get there in 3 months. But remember, that's going to be at least 75%. And I am definitely looking forward to the day when we just don't need appointments. We could just walk in, get a shot, and have no clue how long it's going to take to get to that point, though.
And we're not quite there yet. But Monica, some awesome information for us today. Lots of encouraging news, too. Thank you so much. We'll see you again at 6. Now, let's talk about that little QR code that's at the bottom of your screen. On the bottom left, these little funky black and white boxes. Well, all you have to do is open the camera on your smartphone and then hold it up to that QR code, and a link will magically pop at the top of your screen. If you've never used these before, it's very fun. Click it, and it'll bring you our 3 News Vaccine Guide. It's a really quick and easy way to do it. We're going to leave that little QR code up for you there at the bottom of the screen.
All right, that's now on your feed at 5, our team coverage of the mass vaccination clinic happening in Cleveland. This is another live look over at the Wolstein Center. Today was that soft launch for the clinic, a kind of run through for everybody to get a chance to see what tomorrow will be like, at least on a small scale. Our Romney Smith is live outside the center with what you need to know. Romney, I imagine there was added activity today from yesterday, but tomorrow that place is going to be absolutely buzzing.
Jay, you are absolutely right. Tomorrow is when it all starts. Tomorrow is the first full day of mass vaccinations here at the Wolstein Center, and it will start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And here's what you need to know. First things first, you have to have an appointment to come. So if you still need to get an appointment, you can always go to the website, gettheshot.coronavirus.ohio.gov. Now keep in mind, parking is free, and we have maps on our website, wkyc.com, to help you navigate that. Also, public transportation to the Wolstein Center, also free. You can call 211 to schedule your ride. And a lot of you guys are wondering if there's a wait list to potentially be on call to get the shot. The answer is yes.
We are working with the Ohio Department of Health, and they are going through wait lists. So they have a wait list and connections with the different departments of health to make sure if we have any vaccinations left over at the end of the day, or we have a high no-show rate, that we can call in those people or open up some appointments so that we can reach our goals for that day, ultimately being 6,000 vaccinations.
So keep in mind, if you want to get on that wait list, make sure your local county health department has your contact information. Also, when you go to that website to register for a vaccination appointment, keep in mind that they are opening up hundreds of more appointments every day. So keep trying. And if you simply can't get through, you can always physically come down here to sign up. But keep in mind, you cannot just walk in to get a vaccination.
All right, Romney Smith live tonight. Call it the calm before the storm at the Wolstein Center. Romney, thanks, and we'll see you with more coming up at 6. Betsy?
Well, once folks started arriving at the Wolstein Center, they found the vaccination experience pretty easy. That was the consensus for those participating in today's soft launch. January Keaton talked to several people who got the shot today, and they said it couldn't have been smoother.
Everybody's gonna die one day. You know what I mean? No matter which way it go. And I don't want to be it from COVID. How about that?
I know that's right, Kalura Blount. She got the shot today and said it was pain-free on several levels.
It was easy sneezy, honestly. I was surprised because they said you might have a 4-block walk, which is right around the corner, but it was easy.
And the shot itself? It wasn't that bad?
No, not at all. And I'm scared of needles. I'm telling you, I'm petrified of them, for real.
Oh, that was awesome. That was literally awesome. The entire way through, everybody's cordial, everybody's organized, and it's just, you walk in, you feel good, and you walk out feeling better.
Sam Vanell said he felt so good about getting the shot, he decided to hang out near Wolstein, get a little sunshine.
I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the day, see some downtown.
It was very simple. It was easy. Everything went smoothly from parking to getting the shot. The hardest part was taking off my shirt because I forgot to wear short sleeves.
Paolo Formicelli with the long sleeves says he got the shot today because his elderly parents got it. He's also thinking of his clients.
I'm a hairstylist, so I'm around people all the time. So I feel more comfortable now. I can't wait for the second one.
Now, the soft launch is a way to make sure that the hard launch, I don't even know that if is it called a hard launch? We're going to call it that today. The hard launch goes smoothly as well. They had to do this just as a precursor to make sure that that goes well tomorrow. And again, we already mentioned it. It starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. Let's just hope the rest of the 8 weeks goes as smoothly. Everybody seemed to have a great time getting their vaccinations today. Live in Cleveland, January Keaton, 3 News.
January, I just love your style of reporting. It is so factual and it is just so easy to digest, certainly. And of course, we all want to say a big thank you to the U.S. Army and Ohio National Guard. They're the ones that are making this happen. And major shout out and thanks to our service members. Thank you so much, January. Jay?
Let's hope it goes as smoothly tomorrow. That's going to be quite a scene. Now, this ramp up in vaccines comes at a perfect time, too, because our COVID-19 numbers here in Ohio have seemed to plateau after several months of actually nosediving numbers. Our new cases today coming in at 1,883. That's the highest number we have seen since last Tuesday, which tends to be a weekly peak. Last Tuesday, we had 10 more new cases at 1,893. And because we had 1,883 today, that actually ticked up our rolling 14-day average, and we haven't seen that happen in quite a while. We are still waiting for the state to update our cases per 100,000. The last time they gave us that update was last Wednesday. We were at 155 COVID-19 cases per 100,000 population. We estimate that right now that number is right around 150. Hopefully the state will give us a new number tomorrow. Remember, though, that's nowhere near where we need to be. We need to be 3 times lower than we are right now. 50 cases of COVID per 100,000 before the governor lifts all of the remaining restrictions. The good news on the vaccine front, just under 2.5 million Ohioans have received that first shot. That is 20.8% of Ohio's total population. Next on What's New, Ford is moving its new project from Avon Lake to Mexico. Our Mark Namick shares this disappointing news and has details next.
And in a completely different direction, the Bachelor season comes to a close, but not without a big shock to its fans. A recap ahead in your pop break.
And Matt Wentz, today just got better as time went on. Started a little cloudy, and then before you knew it, it was a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah, Jay, the heavens opened up right over Northeast Ohio this afternoon. I'll tell you what, we are very rare territory because there are clouds all around Ohio. But we'll take this bonus day for sure. Now, tomorrow's going to be another bonus day for St. Patrick's Day. But boy, does it turn rainy and windy on Thursday. We'll take you through that and a beautiful looking extended forecast. All when What's New returns.
Thanks, Matt. And you know, we all deserve a little treat. And Half Moon Bakery is our featured Save Our Sauce feature this afternoon. This is a favorite of Metro Health employees since it's right across the street. They serve up not only Latin desserts, but great grab-and-go lunch items. Check out this restaurant and more suggestions from our Doug Tratner at WKYC.com/SaveOurSauce.
Welcome back to What's New. Shock and disappointment. That's just some of the reaction coming from officials in Avon Lake tonight after learning Ford does not plan to move ahead with a $900 million investment in the giant plant there. Union leaders recently told auto workers that the company is moving a new car line, which was promised to come to Avon Lake, to Mexico instead. Mark Namick has been on this story all day. He explains what it means for the future of workers and the Avon Lake community.
Less than 2 years ago, auto workers and Ford celebrated a new labor agreement that included concessions from workers in exchange for a pledge from the company to invest nearly $1 billion in Northeast Ohio. It was seen as a commitment to long-term jobs. But union officials from Detroit say the company is backing out and characterize the move as one that puts, quote, corporate greed and more potential profits over American jobs and the future of our members. The 2019 deal called for a new product line to be added in 2023. In a letter to workers, the Avon Lake plant manager acknowledged the investment goal, but said, quote, conditions on which the agreement was based have changed. He emphasized that since the 2019 agreement, the company has already boosted the workforce, now at about 1,700, by more than 100 workers by increasing investment in the production of the Super Duty trucks. Avon Lake Mayor Greg Zilka says Ford has not signaled any plans to cut back the current production, but he's still disappointed.
And they've always been an honest player. So it was very shocking, particularly when it was tied to a collective bargaining agreement. It's going to be interesting to see what the auto workers do with regard to this in terms of the impact of the contract in the coming years.
U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, who's built a political career with the help of auto workers and other union members, told me he plans to fight to keep that product line coming here, and that he has a good relationship with Ford and will call on President Joe Biden for help. I'm Mark Namick, 3 News.
Certainly so much to follow on that story as it continues to develop. Well, today was a beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio. We call it bonus weather. We were expecting more cloud cover. We were even expecting rain showers, but Jay, Matt and I, as I mentioned before in our daily chats, we said from coast to coast, this storm has thrown curveballs at every possible player, unfortunately.
That got us too, right? I mean, but in a good way, like you said. I would much rather be on the good end of a curveball than the bad end of a curveball. All of that being said, Matt, tell us where we're going from here. And in your forecast, if you can fit the word countdown in there somewhere, that would be appreciated. You know, we're counting down to spring, and we're very excited about that.
Well, that's how I was going to use it, Jay, but I'll try to come up with something else for sure. But yeah, absolutely. And you get full transparency here at 3 Weather. The other stations are just trying to hide the fact that they didn't forecast the sunshine today. We're telling you, hey, you know what? We thought clouds and some rain, and look what we've got out here for sure. It is certainly beautiful. The one thing that did hold true is we had the warmer temperatures south, cooler near the lakeshore. Your temps right now show that picture. 45 downtown, 47 Sandusky, even Ashtabula checking in at 50. Meanwhile, you get down towards Akron, Canton, Carrollton, over towards Millersburg, sitting near 60 degrees right now. A beautiful evening to get out, take a walk, maybe head to your local park. And that's going to continue tonight. We've got fairly light wind. That's because low pressure is actually right over us. It's kind of disintegrating over us as well. You can see we've got a seasonably cold night ahead as we will drop back into the 30s, but this evening looks great. And look at the satellite. So we've got the clear skies across Northeast Ohio, but as I mentioned, this is rare territory. Much of the Midwest is cloudy. They've got thick clouds from Columbus all the way back to areas in Nebraska. So this is the little area that kind of opened up with some sunshine this afternoon. And if you remember that big Denver rocky system that produced all the snow that we were dealing with yesterday, it literally stretches like this all the way back into the western half of the country. There's still some energy with that up in areas of North and South Dakota. That will meet up with another area of some vigorous energy heading out of the Rockies tomorrow, and that will create quite the severe weather outbreak down towards our south with a likely tornado outbreak for a good portion of the deep south tomorrow. For us, we are on the cooler end of things, so we're going to get some pretty decent rain out of this on Thursday, but look at the temperature spread, 45 downtown, meanwhile 70s and 80s down to the south. Sure, spring-like pattern around here, but we've got another warm day tomorrow. We're going to get a little push from that warm air. Your national Zymer hour-by-hour forecast. We start in the 30s for your Northeast Ohio Wednesday. But look at that. We've got some sunshine mixed with clouds for your St. Patrick's Day, 50s by noon, making it into the mid-60s away from the lake by afternoon. We'll have a dry day tomorrow, a little bit cooler near the lakeshore, and then we start to count down the hours for that rain. It will move in here Thursday morning, and then by Thursday afternoon, we are entrenched in some moderate rainfall. It's going to be brisk. We're going to have a wind churning off the lake, and watch these temperatures from 50 south, near 40 near the lakeshore. Those will crash even. Maybe some wet snow mixing in Thursday night into Friday morning. Just kind of a raw day on Thursday. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. I've got us at 58 tomorrow, but remember, 60s south, 58 near the lakeshore, 40s and falling Thursday. But this sets us up for a gorgeous weekend, you guys. Starting spring off right. 50 Saturday, will be in the 60s next week. A nice stretch of sunshine begins on Saturday as well.
Wow, I'm loving that Sunday. I wish Sunday we could move Sunday to Saturday, but I'm going to take it. It's good. That is a great looking day for the upcoming weekend, the first of spring. Matt, thanks. We'll see you in the next half hour. Coming up next on What's New, an obstacle course fit for cats. Betsy, you're going to love this. How this creative cup display is making rounds on social media. It is our worth the watch. It's pretty good, too, and it's coming up.
But first off, music superstar Drake is out with a new EP, and he's climbing to the top of the record charts, as you can imagine. Details are ahead in your Pop Break. Welcome back, everybody, to What's New. From music to TV, there is a lot happening in the entertainment world this Tuesday. Here's Kiera Cotton with 3 big stories in your pop break.
Music superstar Drake's latest wins must all be a part of God's plan. The 34-year-old released 3 singles earlier this month on his EP Scary Hours 2. And according to Billboard, they have all debuted on the Billboard Top 100 list, ranking 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The nonstop artist celebrated his accomplishments with friends and Ohio native Bow Wow. He also posted a picture of the rankings on Instagram with the caption "Splash" alongside an image of Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry. What's Next marks Drake's 8th Billboard #1 song. And the Bridgerton boys are back. Luke Newton, who plays Colin, the youngest Bridgerton son on the Netflix hit show, is taking a look at the past in anticipation of the future. On Sunday, Newton shared photos of himself and his on-screen brothers on Instagram with the caption, "The boys are back in town." According to Lady Whistledown herself, the season is set to focus on the eldest Bridgerton boy, Anthony, and his quest to find love. There is no word yet on a premiere date for the season. And the season finale of The Bachelor aired last night, and much like the entire season, it was interesting to say the least. While a final rose was given, there wasn't a happy ending for Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell. The two appeared on After the Final Rose to announce their split, after Rachel's racially insensitive past was highlighted on social media. When asked if he thought the relationship with Rachel could be reconciled, Matt didn't give a definitive answer.
The work and the reconciliation that needs to be done is work that I can't do for you. That's something that she's got to do on her own.
While it may be over for Matt and Rachel, double the fun is on the way for Bachelor Nation. Also during last night's After the Rose special, Kate Thurston and Michelle Young were announced as the franchise's next leads. Both seasons are set to premiere later this year. I'm Kiera Cotton, 3 News.
All right, Kiera, thank you very much. Time now for our Worth the Watch. I love this. Cat lovers will appreciate it, too. The owner of these 3 cats put a bunch of cups at the bottom of the stairs to see how they would get through them. Cat number 1, very nimble. Cat number 2, knocks over a few, but by and large, pretty good. Cat number 3, I've had it with these cups. I'm done with these cups. I am so done with these cups. Now, Betsy, I have a question for you. Okay. Would you be cat number 1, very gingerly navigating your way through the obstacle course? Cat number 2, gave a nice effort, but not quite. Or cat number 3, bull in a china shop.
Anybody who knows me knows I'm so cat number 3.
I love that. I'm probably cat number 2. I'm going to try my best not to make a mess. I may, though. It's just in my DNA. It's who
I just look at it, I'm like, look, it's just not going to be successful. At this point, there's no way I'm going to not knock anything over. So we just might as well go out in grand fashion.
I love cat number 3. You could see he was sort of doing the math, like thinking, can I jump over all that? Can I get over all of it? And as soon as he hit 1 and they all fell, he was gone.
Have you seen the ones, too, where people will do it for their cat and then they do it for their dogs?
Oh, yeah. Dogs are like, I have no time for this silly nonsense. Boom.
Oh, I just love those. Thank you so much. I love that. Worth the watch, certainly. Well, coming up for us all here in the next half hour of What's New, big news out today for Ohioans. Expanded vaccine eligibility is coming. Everybody is talking about it, and we're going to be taking in your thoughts coming up.
Plus, there are still a lot of questions leading up to the big day at the Wolstein Center tomorrow. That's when mass vaccinations begin there. We're going to break down what you need to know ahead of the launch right here in Cleveland.
And then, all aboard! One of Northeast Ohio's most popular railroad services announces its new travel schedule. If you've never done it before, it's so much fun. We're going to detail all of that ahead in Clicking in Cleveland.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Welcome back, everybody, to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford. Jay, it is St. Patrick's Day Eve. A lot of folks getting excited about that.
And the weather's going to be good. I mean, there's been times on St. Patrick's Day where you get hit with snow or it's cold and rainy. But I think this is going to be a nice win for everybody, and hopefully everybody gets out safely, enjoys it. We missed it last year, being gone for sure. Our countdown to spring continues now. We were talking about this earlier with Matt Wins. Here we are, Bets. We're just 4 days away.
4 days.
Till the official start of spring. And I just can't wait. We're very close now. That Saturday weather, I wish we, sometimes weather systems speed up. We see that. That happens. Maybe, here's my holdout hope, that Sunday's weather gets here Saturday. What are the chances?
This is where you get to say, if I were in control of the weather.
Yeah, right. Well, I do put in weather requests. They're very rarely heard.
You
but
do.
I give it a try anyhow.
You got a better chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah, I know I do. All right, let's begin at 5:30 with our top talker, and it's a good one. More Ohioans will soon be getting vaccinated. What great news. You may have seen that little QR code with all of these little black dots down here. It's in the lower left portion of your screen. It's got information when you hit that with your phone on how you can get vaccinated. We're going to explain much in greater detail how it works in just a few minutes. You may want to get your phone ready for that. But first, let's get you caught up on the newest vaccine information. And it's all good news. This morning, Governor Mike DeWine announcing that in 13 days, all Ohioans 16 years and older, so Betsy, they're finally going to hit your age group, will be eligible to register for the COVID-19 vaccine. And of course, that means we just took a giant step towards returning to normalcy, Bets. As we know, the more people that get vaccinated, the safer it's going to be out there.
Right, but keep in mind, before all of that happens on March 29th, other Ohioans are going to be able to register starting this Friday. That includes Phase 1E. That's 766,000 Ohioans, like cancer patients, anybody with chronic kidney disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, heart disease, and obesity. The governor was asked if Ohioans would need to prove any of these conditions, and here's what he said.
We've instructed the providers that not to turn people away. If they say someone says they're obese, if someone says they have cancer, if someone says they have asthma, other states have decided to have a doctor's certificate. We made the decision that Ohioans are honest, Ohioans have good faith, and we don't want to create another barrier for someone to get it.
All right, that's smart too. So it's the honor system, and he's right. Ohioans are, by and large, an honest group of folks. Now, Ohioans 40 years old and older will also be eligible to register on Friday. And to meet the demand, this is where the good news really comes in. Ohio is expecting another 400,000 doses to be shipped this week. And then next week, Betsy, another 400,000 doses expected to be on the way.
Well, with the governor's decision to open vaccine eligibility up to all Ohioans 16 plus, who've been approved to get that vaccine, by the way, we asked our viewers on Twitter if they are ready to get the vaccine. So far, 76% of folks say you're going to get it. 14% say you aren't. 9% say you are still deciding. You can keep voting on the WKYC Twitter page.
All right. I'm glad to see that number so high.
Right.
That's in the range of herd immunity. Obviously, everybody that you hear talking about this on the public health side would love to see 100% of the people take the vaccination and just be done with it. But as long as we can be up by that 75 to 80% number, because remember, 9% still undeciding. If we can get that number to 80%, Bets, I think that's a pretty good thing.
I do too, and I'll tell you what, your best shot at getting the shot is probably going to end up being that mass vaccination site here for just a short amount of time. So be ready to do that. I'm going to go there if I can go there. I can't wait. Get to see, a few thousand other folks socially distanced and whatnot. But I just want to get it over with.
That's going to be quite a sight, too. It looks like they're ready to have this thing be a well-oiled machine. People are going to be coming and going at a rapid pace. Now, We told you about that QR code that you see on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Here's how that works. Just open your camera on your phone and hold it up to the QR code. And without doing anything else, a link will automatically pop up. It will come up to the top of your screen. You want to click on that, and that's going to take you to the 3 News Vaccine Guide. Our guide has a variety of stories about the vaccine, also links on how you can sign up to get your shot. It's all really, really simple now. All right, now to today's other big story, and that is the soft launch, which is happening right now at the Wolstein Center. We've been telling you about it throughout the afternoon. That's where thousands of Ohioans will begin receiving their vaccines tomorrow. Today, a bit of a practice run for the big day at the mass vaccination clinic.
Now, the goal is to administer 6,000 vaccines a day by next week. Now, our Lena Lai breaks down what you need to know when you go to get your shot.
Now go! Preparations for Ohio's first mass vaccination site are going into the night.
This is the epitome of a joint effort.
10 federal and state agencies joining forces to vaccinate 210,000 people in the next 8 weeks at Cleveland State University's Wolstein Center.
A lot of men and women coming together to put on something at this scale. We're just real proud to be a part of it.
But before you go, you must first be registered. So how do you get an appointment? Eligible groups can head to gettheshot.coronavirus.ohio.gov. You'll get a QR code to save or print out. Which vaccine will you get? For the first 6 weeks, it'll be the 2-dose Pfizer vaccine. The rest, 1-dose Johnson & Johnson. So how do you get your second dose?
When you get your shot, you will automatically be registered for that second shot. It will be the same day, same time, 3 weeks later.
Now for parking. No street parking allowed around the Wolstein Center, but free parking in the 5 yellow lots across the street. Once there, masks required. You'll get a temperature check.
Anything over 100.4, we're going to have to ask you to get your shot another day.
Present the QR code that you got at registration, and you'll be guided to a socially distanced vaccination chair, where trained military personnel will come to you to give you your shot. Wait 15 minutes to make sure there's no reaction, and you're done.
It's to make sure that when people come, that this is a good experience for them and that the operation flows well.
Lena Lai, 3 News.
I keep thinking of the Hamilton song, I'm not throwing away my shot. You know what I mean? Not going to throw away my shot. That takes on new connotation. All right, if you need help getting to the Wolstein Center, there are some options. You can get a free ride from RTA by calling United Way's 211 line or going to Cuyahoga County's website. If you're coming from Lake County, Lake Tran will give free rides Monday through Friday between 8:15 and 6:30. Keep in mind, reservations on that Lake Tran are required a day in advance, and the bus will leave from Lakeland Community College.
Wow. Betsy, we're getting together. I mean, this is a good feeling. It really is. And it's exciting to watch it all come together. Next on What's New, with today's big news on expanded vaccine groups, a lot of you are weighing in on whether you'll get the shot or not. We're taking your comments. That's coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
And if you are ready to get out of town, we're talking get on a plane and get out of town. There's a lot of changes that have been made over the last year. If you've not been on a plane recently, get ready. We have a look inside the airline industry, what you need to know before you go anywhere.
All right, thank you. Hey, Al. We are talking about people on Twitter and Facebook and railroads today. There's the railroads coming back. It's a whole new comeback, a whole thing. Yeah. Great, thanks.
Welcome back to What's New. Check this out. Something pretty bizarre is happening in North Ridgeville. A resident called the police department there to say that a raccoon was in their dishwasher. So Animal Control Officer Patrolman John Mezzo went to check it out. Now, apparently, Betsy, this raccoon busted through the bathroom light. That's how he gained entrance into the home, ransacked the kitchen, then decided to take a nap in the dishwasher. All of this according to a department Facebook post earlier today. The raccoon is fine. The homeowner is fine. Everything, in fact, is fine. But Betsy, this is proof once again that raccoons are as destructive as they are cute.
Gonna have to clean out the filter in that dishwasher, though.
Yeah, in fact, I might even want to throw all the dishes away. I know you can wash them again, but that stuff like that is a little gross to me. I don't think I want to eat on a dish that was next to a raccoon napping in the dishwasher.
At first, I didn't even see it. It was almost like his little face was perfect camouflage with all the metal around it. But oh my goodness.
We have one who likes to frequent our bird feeder behind our house in the spring, summer, and fall months. And they're just so darn cute with their little hands, and they're picking away at the bird feeders. Yeah, I can't even chase them all. I try, I clap and I yell, but he just looks at me. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Go back in the house.
I like to put a little dish of water out and they try and wash everything. It's super
It's great.
All right, let's take a look at this forecast because, man, talk about beautiful weather. Grilling weather is happening. A lot of folks are getting their grills back out at this point. Matt, it might be one of those where you take it out for a few days and then you get to put it away again.
Yeah, that's called middle of winter. We've got some neighbors that do that. I used to do that back in my college years, but I can't get over that raccoon story. I'm sorry. Emmy, what would you do if there was a raccoon in the dishwasher?
I don't know.
What would you do? Would you attempt to feed it?
No.
Good. You should never feed a raccoon, but sometimes yogurt's good. It's a good trick. They get it stuck on their little nose. But anyway, yeah, I can't get over that. But anyway, raccoon, grill, whatever it happens to be, a good night to head outside because we've got nice conditions around here. That will carry over to our St. Patrick's Day. But guys, check this out. This morning, we did see a little bit of rain at Hopkins, 0.02, so not a whole lot, but that ends our dry streak in March. That was our first measurable rainfall in 15 days. This is the driest stretch in start to March since records began back in 1887. So if you're used to the dogs and the kids dragging in their muddy paws in March, you're not really dealing with a lot of that. It has been very dry, but that isn't really where we want to be as we get into spring. We do need the rainfall. The tension I want you to look at here on the graphic are these bottom numbers there. You can see we're running a deficit on the year of almost 3.5 inches in Cleveland. A little bit less of a deficit Akron and Mansfield, but still, we could use the rainfall. And I think we're going to get it. This isn't a big drought that we're not going to make up. We can make up for this in a system or two, and I think we will put a dent in that on Thursday. But right now, we're dealing with great temperatures. Look at this, spring-like. As you get south of the I-480 corridor, out towards Ravenna, sitting at 57, Akron 62, cooler near the lakefront. But we're all going to cool down to the 30s tonight, so seasonably cool. Those clouds will fill back in spots, but overall, we'll go with partly cloudy skies. I showed this earlier. Look at the clearing over northeast Ohio today. This is very rare territory because there are clouds with the system everywhere else, but right over our area. How about that? But a bigger system coming together. This will be our rainmaker later this week. We've got an area low pressure left over from that snowstorm still out in the Dakotas. That's going to merge with a newer area of low pressure in the Four Corners region. Those come together. There's going to be a severe weather outbreak tomorrow for the areas shaded there, especially Alabama, Mississippi, areas towards Arkansas, Louisiana. They're going to have a rough go of it by this time tomorrow night. For us, though, we're on the rainy side. A big picture look at your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. It's not going to rain tomorrow. Should be nice for our St. Patrick's Day, mild as well. But by tomorrow evening, those clouds will thicken. And look at the rain coming in here Thursday. Pretty solid block of it. We'll have a wind that's strong out of the east. That will turn northeasterly, and that will bring that air off the lake. It's just going to be a raw day, especially later in the day on Thursday with that rain. But thankfully, we'll kick it out of here for the weekend, and we have a beautiful stretch of weather after we get through this. In terms of rainfall, I think we'll get anywhere from a half an inch to an inch. Most models agree on that, so a real good soaking around here on Thursday. And you can see your Unihome Mortgage 7-day forecast. Temps do go down on Thursday as that colder air wraps in. A cold Friday, but we ought to turn sunny, and then that sunshine continues. Sunny Saturday, sunny Sunday. And Jay, I would like to say the 63 could be on Saturday, but I'm not seeing it. I think it'll be a cool but comfortable day on Saturday, and then we talk warmth next week.
that. That's so beautiful. I had to capture it in a photo. All right, Matt. Matt, thank you very much. We'll see you soon. All right now it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we say hello to Stephanie Haney. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Jay. You know, as you can imagine, Governor DeWine announcing open access coming soon to the COVID-19 vaccine has a lot of people talking. And we've got a couple hundred more votes in our poll. And as you can see, most people say they do want to get vaccinated. And most who responded are thrilled to have that access soon. Others that want it, though, are holding out for the single shot, and many got their first shot today at the Wolstein Center at Cleveland State University. Now, Erin O'Brien was one of those lucky ones. Sharing this selfie from the clinic, she said, you know, granted it wasn't at full capacity today, but she was in and out in less than 30 minutes. But some are waiting because the Wolstein Center is too far or difficult to get to, and appointments just aren't available where they live. Outside of Cleveland, there is a lot of frustration. A lot of people are questioning why the state would open up vaccine access when appointments are still hard to get for the groups who have been eligible. For example, Amy was part of Group 1B eligible in January, and she just got her first dose today. And we keep hearing stories about people checking every hour, like Heather here, and getting appointments that way, but not everyone can do that. Now, if you can get to the Wolstein Center, there are appointments there, which is how this couple in their 60s finally got in. And a rep from Governor DeWine's office told me they do expect to open more regional large-scale vaccine sites in about 2 weeks. So we're hanging on for that. Now, in other news, the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad is getting back on the tracks. The first rides will be up and running on May 1st, and that'll be Fridays through Sundays. In June, rides will also be available on Wednesday and Thursday, and they are bringing back the very popular dinner and event train, Jay and Betsy. This is a really cool thing on Fridays. You can have dinner, drinks, and kind of special events like murder mysteries and beer tastings. It sounds very cool.
Betsy's very excited about the return.
I love the Valley train. We do our bikes. You put your bike on, you ride the train, you take your bike off, you ride your bike. The train comes back, you put your bike back on the train and just do the whole towpath that way.
Sounds fun.
Super cool.
It sounds fun.
Thanks so much, Stephanie.
Thanks, Steph.
Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, coming up next for us, what to know before you go. I am so interested to hear this. From airport security to the flight in general, we have details on new travel guidelines if you're planning on getting in on some of these last-minute deals on a summer trip or post-pandemic flights.
Get that on.
Yes, I gotcha. Yep, I'm here. Trying to find my light. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. We are still at the Wolstein Center where things kick off tomorrow. We're talking about how you can't
Well, already airline travel is up considerably from a year ago, and families are now thinking about a much-needed summer vacation. But if you haven't flown in a year, there's a lot that's changed. The CDC is still advising against travel, but as more Americans are vaccinated and states lift restrictions, more people are making their plans. NBC's Tom Costello walks us through what's changed if you haven't flown in the last year.
Before you travel, if you're going to a destination that requires a negative COVID test, you should take a photograph of your test results and then upload it to the site. Now, the United app actually will tell you, based on your destination, exactly which documentation you need. Whether you're flying overseas or even to Hawaii, the requirements can change, so know before you go. Your phone can now serve as your airline ticket, hotel key, even your dining menu. Once at the airport with your boarding pass on your phone, it's all about minimizing contact. At the check-in kiosk, no need to touch the screen. Simply scan your boarding pass and your luggage tag will spit right out. Attach the tag to your bag. Then the agent will verify the name on your ID with your bag tag, and you're done. Next step, security. Now at most TSA checkpoints, they don't ask for your boarding pass. You simply slide in your driver's license, and you're through. Inside the airport terminal, this is not 2019. Chances are you're still going to find the airports pretty empty. U.S. airline passenger levels are down 57% from 2 years ago. Because there are fewer flights, passengers come in waves. Mike Hanna is in charge of every United airport operation worldwide. This is Chicago O'Hare, one of the busiest airports in the world. When will passengers start coming back?
Well, Tom, I think we'll start to see some additional customers coming this summer, but it's probably a couple of years before we see a more fuller recovery.
Back to your trip with the family. If you need help, but you want to avoid in-person contact, United lets you have a video chat with an agent on demand simply by scanning the QR code. Your phone then connects to a live agent. Hi, I'm on a 6 o'clock flight. Any chance I can catch an earlier flight?
It looks like there's one leaving at 2 p.m. I could put you on that one.
Perfect, thank you. Agent Mackenzie Meehan says the most common questions are, can I change my seat and where's my gate? But I guess you're not as susceptible to bribery for an upgrade, right? I can't hand you a box of chocolates to get my upgrade.
No, but they still try. They still try.
On board, most airlines disinfect their planes from cockpit to coach to restrooms before every flight. Many board passengers from back to front to minimize passenger contact. The ventilation system's constantly running. Depending on the plane, fresh air is cycled through every 3 to 6 minutes. It flows from top down, pulling viruses down to the floor and the vents, then out through the HEPA filters. Independent studies suggest airline air is very safe. After a year of lockdown, the hope is that Americans, once vaccinated, will be eager to get away. Is this coming summer, the summer where things start to pick up again in terms of travel?
I think we're all hopeful that we'll see a uptick. The key areas that we're seeing the uptick in is in places you can socially distance, locations that have national parks, beach destinations, South Florida, the Caribbean, Mexico, Central America.
The expert advice, wait till your entire family is vaccinated and don't forget to pack your phone. All right, Tom, excellent report. Next, weaving a legacy, the special task one veteran made his priority over the last year. Did it for the Salvation Army. It's our Show Us Something Good, and I bet it makes you smile.
Then coming up at 6 on What Matters Most, Ford's new plans to move a big project from Avon Lake's plant to Mexico. Mark Namick has details on the loss and the major impact on the area.
Mic check, Monica. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody was in their cars, they had a mask on, it was clear.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm at the Wolstein Center, and keep in mind, if you cannot book an appointment, you can always visit.
Tis I was just telling Craig, Huh?
And it's mass
Level 1, 2, 3, 4. I was just telling Craig that I am the first and
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Laura Casos, mic. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Al. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good evening. I'm Russ Mitchell.
Today's show is Something Good comes from Minnesota, where 96-year-old World War II veteran Tom Cornish has spent the last year weaving 400 hats and donating all of them to the Salvation Army. He volunteers there and works on hooking the hats from his apartment at a senior living facility to keep busy. Tom set a goal of completing 1 hat per day, but he's often finishing 2 and sometimes even 3, ending up with a total of 400 of those hats. Such a cool, neat, little niche thing that he's able to do to help others.
Yeah, and it does help many. Thanks so much for watching What's New. We're back tomorrow at 5, and we invite you to join us then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts